Kyle Shanahan was asked about Jimmy Garoppolo's lip reading. I mean, everyone, we've all done Jimmy Garoppolo lip reading. And Kyle Shanahan said that he doesn't know the clip. He hadn't seen the clip. He just got it on his notes before the press conference because that's, part of the job of, the media relations folks. They tell the coach before he hits the podium, here's some things you might get asked about. Maybe there's something controversial going on or some viral tweet, or in this case, both. But they kind of just prep them for that. Kyle said, I got it on my notes, but I'm not a very good lip reader, so I'm not going to watch it. It's like with one of my friends. He was asked about the relationship. Jimmy and I are around each other every single day, so there's not any awkwardness from us or anything that's kept from one another. Basically, we know how each other feel. So would you buy? Are you buying that Kyle has not seen the clip? And what do you think of his answer?
Yeah, I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to say he's lying. He's definitely saw the clip, and someone showed him the clip. Now, maybe he went full lawyer and said, don't show me. I don't want to see. But John Lynch described it to him.
Yeah.
I have a hard time. I get he's an older soul for a younger guy, but we're all humans. You would, if someone's showing you the clip, you'd peek because it's not that bad. I also think it's a pretty crazy. Now, listen, I'm glad this stuff happens. It gave us something to talk about. It interests a lot of people when you see it. I think 7 people texted to me, right? And 1 million people shared it, I'm sure, with both of us and just all over. I am pro the content. I do think it's unfair if you were in their shoes, this type of stuff happening. Can you imagine? I said to this before we hopped on, like, you're getting into an argument over dinner with your wife, and both you guys go in the other room. If I had you slow motion mouth reading, or when you are a kid with your parents, on both sides, the parents, what they're saying about you when you turn the corner in high school, what you're saying about them. This doesn't happen in any other walk of life. No other business setting. Like if you're a sales guy, you and your boss are screaming at each other and you go the other way. Can you imagine over the years some of the things that you have said about your superiors? I mean, it's part of the job. I get it. Comes with the territory now more than ever because of social media, because of the cameras, because of people. I mean, all that was something as he was walking out. It happened so fast. If you're not super locked in, you turn around, you're talking to someone at your couch, on the couch, you pet your dog, you might not even pay attention. One human being saw it, posted, and it went viral. It's not like 17 people had it. One human being. It's the same video every single place I've seen it. But that's just the reality, and it sucks. Though I'm still not quite sure what he said. I don't necessarily care, but this would have happened with Jimmy. This could have happened with Mac Jones and Belichick. Could have happened with Lamar if he said, pay me my fucking money. I mean, it could happen in any situation. It happens in basketball all the time. It's why, LeBron covers his mouth, even though I think it's pretty stupid when he's saying hi to somebody. Yeah. Offensive coordinators do it, not necessarily because they don't want you reading like, what play did he say? But it's just, I guess, the world we live in.
Yeah, I saw somebody say that it was that it was wrong of CBS to show Ken Dorsey's reaction in the Bills booth. Like the coaches let you put a little camera in there, kind of with the understanding that you're not going to make them look bad, right? And like you have to, I shouldn't say this. I don't know this for a fact that you have to get their permission to put a camera in there. But I do think generally it's like, okay, cool. They are letting us put a camera in their private space. And so the trade-off is, what do you do in that spot? But to me, it was like, they didn't, the Ken Dorsey play wasn't something that happened 30 minutes ago and then they showed it to you. They just cut to the camera and Ken Dorsey lost his shit. I think it's basically how it played out.
7 second or something delay, right? Wouldn't they have known?
No, it doesn't quite work like that. The delay is from what they are packaging together, hitting the air. It's a little different than them being able to say, let's put that on. Once you say like, take camera A, like you have taken camera A. You can't.
I saw Josh Allen say he loved it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think it's that bad, but I think my ultimate point is like, you are doing this whole thing in a very public space, but there are parts of it that you want to be private. Now, I think your point is the perfect point, right? Which is that if you filmed anybody for whatever, any amount of time when they're in a highly charged situation, sometimes they would say things that they're saying to themselves. He didn't go like say it to Debo, all Kyle's plays suck, right? He said it, he just frustrated, threw it out, like came out of his mouth. And I'm with you. I don't even know if that's what he said. I actually wouldn't be shocked if Kyle hadn't watched it. Coaches, the disciplined ones, right? Like Bill, the whole thing that Lane's always done, which is a copy of Saban, which is we don't ingest the rat poison. Like, guys, we're not going to do any of that shit. Would be Kyle's attitude. It's like, I'm so busy. I got so much stuff to focus on. It's easier for me if I don't watch it because then I don't have to. I just say I didn't watch it. I don't even fuck with it. Jimmy knows when I'm pissed with him. I know when Jimmy's pissed with me. I don't need anybody else telling me that Jimmy was frustrated on Sunday night by the Broncos. And I definitely don't need to watch some clip that's gone viral because honestly, there are things that he has said to me 10 times worse than that, or that I've said to him definitely 10 times worse than that. So who cares? Like I could see if he hadn't watched it for that reason, you know?
Now there is an element like the it's not like CBS or Fox or, you know, like the broadcast partner put this out. This was a rogue fan that then everyone I do think ultimately like this type stuff is healthy for the league. Like this makes it popular, right? This gets people talking. It's a little different, but Ethan's often told the story. He's got a great Substack about Scott Skiles, who in a coaches meeting with David Stern, when David announced that we're going to do quarter interviews with the coach, right? At the first and the going into the fourth quarter, because ESPN and ABC, they just re-upped their deal and we've put this into the package. And Scott Skiles raises his hand. He's like, this is bullshit. We got to focus. And then David Stern looks at Scott Skiles and goes, Hey, everybody, Scott doesn't want us to do this. They just paid us $1 billion, but he thinks this is a terrible fucking idea. Now, this is not apples to apples in the situation, but ultimately his point is everything that's on television like is good. Like that, to me, that Ken Dorsey thing, my ultimate take with that is like, that is why the NFL is crushing. Now, you know, obviously coaches just in any sport are more passionate, but as an NBA coach or definitely as a baseball manager, for the most part, you lose some, you win some, whatever. In football, everything matters as much as it is to the diehard on the couch, who when that happens is throwing his shit. I saw our guy Tyler Dunn Instagrammed out. He had Isaiah McKenzie on like this sit down on Monday after the game. And he's like, did you get a lot of crazy crap? And Isaiah McKenzie telling funny stories about people pausing the image. One fan tagged him in like all these arrows of where he should have gone. And it just, I mean, this whole thing plays a role in the ecosystem that equals the popularity. You told me that the Fox game's up. I saw someone
5%
wrote the other day that all the games are up just universally relative over the last 5 years. Like this is like having an incredible year.
I mean, we talked about, think about the offseason, right? All the things that happen. Brady retires, unretires. Russell Wilson gets traded, right? Draft picks. There's a million.
I would say like 85% of the teams have like a legit storyline interest that you just kind of keep peeking an eye on, right?
100%. So now I do think the thing with the Niners, right, is I don't think
Jimmy's a pretty polarizing, this whole situation.
Yeah, and I don't think you or I are taking the lip reading, even if he said it, to be that important. But I think one of the reasons it works for this situation is because you could understand if Jimmy and Kyle didn't have a great relationship. It would, you know, if you put person A and person B in the situation that those two are in, you could understand if there were some animosity. You tried to replace me. You wanted me gone. Now I'm back, whatever. And I'm not saying that's the case with those two, but I do think that's part of why this one took off. It's because the situation is a weird situation to begin with, right?
Very.
That's part of it. Like if Trey Lance had done it, it would feel kind of out of left field, right? If you had a clip of Trey Lance saying that, I'd be like, what is going on here?
Would also have been a big story, though.
Now, if Mahomes had done it and then had an interaction on the sideline, you know, if there had been something like that's why the Mahomes clip, the Mahomes one's a separate issue. I'm not going to compare Mahomes, but
would you say Mahomes a little more like that moment is a little more organic to get posted because they were just looking at people leaving the field and he was talking to Eric Bieniemy, right? That could have easily happened with every single game at halftime. People are leaving.
Yeah, but everyone watching that game noticed it. You know what I mean?
It's impossible not to notice. I would imagine real time the Jimmy thing happened at pretty rapid fire. You wouldn't notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice, and
I didn't notice. No one noticed except this rogue fan.
Bro, why'd you call him rogue?
Because like he knew what he was doing.
Freedom fighter.